Hi guys, it's Miss Spada here. We're going to pick up where we left off with our Time Warp Trio series. We had read the first book already about the three boys. They're called the Time Warp Trio because they like to travel back in time. And trio meaning there's three of them. And their names again were, see if you remember, Joe, Sam, and Fred. And in this second book, this one is called The Time Warp Trio and the Not So Jolly Roger. We're going to find out what happens when the boys encounter some pirates. And the Jolly Roger is a play on the name of a famous pirate ship called the Jolly Roger. So let's find out what happens to our three boys in this story. Chapter 1. I thought you said you read the book, said Sam. I looked over at Sam and Fred, swaying in the tops of the two coconut trees next to mine. We were 30 feet above the ground. I grabbed my tree tighter. I did, I said weakly. I closed my eyes so I could see just how far up we were. Well, what happened this time, Mr. Magic? Asked Fred. We didn't even open the book. We were just goofing around in your room. Now we're making like monkeys in the tops of some trees on a deserted island. Maybe it was something you said Sam. Waves crashed on the beach. I smelt the salt air. I opened one eye to look at Sam and Fred. Sam's glasses hung from one ear. Fred's Mets cap was twisted backwards. They did look kind of like monkeys hugging coconuts. If I hadn't been so scared, I would have laughed. I said I read the book. I didn't say I understood it. Oh, great, said Sam, trying to hang on to his coconut and fix his glasses at the same time. So you're telling us that you don't know where we are? I looked out at the long stretch of blue ocean. The hot sun hung high in the blue sky. I tried to guess what time it might be. Where are we? I don't even know when we are. Ah! Screamed Sam. A red and blue parrot flew by and screeched back. We're lost, moaned Sam. Shipwrecked. Castaways. Robinson Crusoes in time and space. We have no idea where or when we are. Ah! Get a grip, said Fred. I wished for buried treasure. The book sent us here. Fred started to climb down his tree. It doesn't take Einstein to figure it out. Somewhere around here, there's buried treasure. We're gonna die, said Sam. Don't say I didn't warn you, because where there's buried treasure, there's pirates. We're dead meat. We're shark food. Well, look at the bright side, said Fred. If you're dead, you won't have to go to school Monday. Sam gave his glasses a push. Ha, ha. Very funny. I forgot to laugh. Fred started to slide down the tree trunk. What's the big deal? We find the treasure, we dig it up. Joe says the hocus pocus stuff, and we go back home millionaires. Well, I said. What? What's this well? Said Sam. I don't like the sound of this well. Well, the book says there are a lot of ways to travel in time, I said. But the only way to get back to our time is to find the person who has the book in this time. But what about the all-purpose time warper spell? Said Fred. I shook my head. It only works going backward. We have to find the book to get home. Let me show you some of the pictures. There are a lot of wonderful descriptions we're hearing about the setting so far. And I love how the author chooses to go into more details about the smells and the sounds and what he's seeing and hearing. Did you remember an animal he described that he heard? That's right, that parrot that squawked by. Do you remember a smell he mentioned? He said he smelt the salt air. Do you remember a sight? that he's described? He describes several different things, right? The ocean, the waves crashing, that's also a sound one. So instead of just telling us that they're on this island, he's adding all these extra yummy details for the reader to just get into. And Sam is a little bit worried, isn't he? Let's finish this chapter off and look at the picture. So guess what we might hear or see or get in touch with here. Sam knocked his head on the nearest coconut. Oh, fine. That's just fine. I mean, that should be easy. Thanks to Lame Brain Treasure Hunter here, there aren't that many people to ask for the book. Let's see, we could ask this coconut. We could ask that seagull. We could ask the ocean. We could ask the... Oh, no. What's an ono? I asked. Sam pointed to the ocean. We could just see the front of a sailing ship appearing from around the edge of the island. Hey, it looks like a ship, said Fred. 3 guesses what kind of ship, Einstein, said Sam, and the first 2 don't count. We clutched our trees and watched the front of the ship turn into what looked like a huge wooden ocean liner. Except this ocean liner had cannons, and it was flying a flag from its mast, a black flag with a white skull. Oh no, said Fred. He went back up the tree fast. So we're ending chapter 1 with a juicy ending, just like good authors do sometimes. They've hooked us in already for the first chapter. So what do we think about this pirate ship? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? What's going to happen? I want you to make a prediction about what's going to happen, and I'll catch you back here for chapter 2.